Big win for the Mountaineers. The biggest single thing that we tried to get accomplished this week was, just to hit the field with some excitement and start the game fast. I felt like we had a really good week of practice, and we really started good. First half, I felt like we won all three sides of the ball. Second half, other than the first drive for offense and the last drive for defense, I thought they outplayed us on all three sides of the ball. The good news is we had enough at the end, and had a good drive offensively after they cut it to a field goal to go down. We wanted a touchdown. At least got 3 points to make it a 6-point game, and then the defense went out there and finished the game. So, happy for the fact that we had enough to us to be able to get the game done. So, with that, take some questions.
Well, can you talk about the tempo?
The tempo for us was fantastic, and it's like I've said this a bunch, when we get things going, it's easier to tempo. It's easier to play with tempo. Like second half, our tempo wasn't nearly as good because they had the momentum. And that's something that we feel like we have something to do with that on both sides of the ball. First half great, second half probably not as good as we wanted. It's football. It's happening. Maryland's a good program. They're well coached. They got good players. They're in a good conference and all the rest. So we knew it was going to be a tough game, and I felt like we were ready, and I was happy to see us finish the game. When you're playing a good team, that stuff's going to happen. And you got to be able to overcome that. If we didn't have very good leadership, we could have caved at the end, offensively and defensively.
Defensively, you played pretty well the first half. Just wilt higher in the second half. What do you think?
I don't know. Like I said, they're not bad now. They got good players. They're well coached. We played lights out in the first half. Other than the last drive of the second quarter, where we allowed them to go score. We played well. We ended up getting 3 turnovers to even out the turnover margin thing. Which obviously still good.
You disagreed, I guess, with the personal thing.
Wasn't happy with them. Obviously you got to see it on tape. But, it's a fine line. We obviously got to protect the guys, but you don't want to curve aggressiveness of the defense. So I don't know. We have to look at it before I get convinced.
Did you get an explanation from the fit?
It's always a judgment call. There's a whole lot of judgment calls out there. You just got to be wrong.
Did you do anything defensively differently in the second half that tripped you guys up, or was it just a matter of them?
No, they didn't. They didn't. They played harder than we did for the majority of the second half. And they got some momentum, and it's a game of momentum. We had all the momentum in the first half, and they had it for the majority of the second. But just real proud of the way the guys finished the game. It's hard to win. It's real hard to win on the road, and we had all the momentum in the first half, and then for them to have every ounce of momentum that existed in the entire stadium, and for us to be able to finish offensively with the field goal and defensively with the turnovers, says a lot about the team.
You guys normally travel well. Were you happy with the turnover?
Yeah, I've noticed them. I'll be honest with you, I don't. The surroundings get blocked out a lot. We told our team all week, that playing on the road is no excuse. It's still all about what happens on the field. Just within the confines of the grass. That's the only thing that matters. So myself and everybody else, their job's to kind of block everything out. So I think we did a good job of that.
You mentioned the leadership in getting the last drive going. Obviously, Gino is the guy there. Anybody else that stood out to you that you felt like leaned on?
Stedman made some plays, made that corner miss, got him turned around a little bit. Ryan Neal made a big third down catch. Gino obviously did good up front. It was probably our best game, obviously. And you got to study the tape in order to figure out what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong a lot of times. But overall, we're pretty happy with it.
You mentioned the game on momentum. Do you know what happened to that swung the other way in the second half?
Yeah, they scored and we didn't. Pretty much what it boils down to, I mean, we came out and we scored, but then they marched it down and scored, and then you got a little momentum.
The game,
probably 3 and outed. I can't remember how many 3 and outs we had, but it seemed to me like there was 3 or 4 in a row. I don't know.
Did Sean Alston make that much of a difference in your?
Yeah, there's things that we got to work on every week.
No, I don't think so. I mean, Sean did all right, but
we didn't come out on top.
I wanted to see what he was getting. There's a couple of times that he didn't get the first down. I thought he tiptoed. He didn't hit the hole very well, but a couple of times he was in there, he did fine. He's our most experienced back. Which. Bowie got popped again. The kid takes some shots, but Bernard ran well.
And what happened was,
Sean brings some leadership.
I think once we started to spread the ball around, we did better.
Yeah, we did better. We're still only at about 3 yards carry. But we were able to, hand it off and get some yards, which helps. Again, it's all about
put ourselves in a position there at the end,
making them defend
just didn't make the
pass.
plays we had to.
We can't be one-dimensional.
A game like this is a good game to go into next
I love Danny O'Brien.
Every win's a good game.
Danny played his hearts out.
He said it all 3 times that we won. We don't ever take for granted the win.
Criticized.
Pretty excited about getting the win.
He's a great young man.
He'll obviously give us the momentum coming
into
the next game.
He's out there playing as hard
And I
as
told him
anybody
there, I
else.
said next week's a big game because it's the next game. It's not
I
about
thought
anything
maybe
else
he
other
tried to
than
put a little bit too much on himself instead of just going out there and letting it happen.
It's about just getting better. That's how we approach it. It's just the best. Obviously, is a good quality opponent. Good quality opponent road we're trying to build on it from here. It's all about going home, studying the film, figuring out what we did right, what we did wrong, and trying to get better.
Dana, back-to-back games, Geno Smith posted career-high passing yards. How much of a zone was he in this game?
Pretty good for about 2.5 quarters.
As I told you, in that situation,
the second half of quarter 3 and the first half of quarter 4 wasn't great. He missed some throws. He missed a couple of throws on the goal line that he's got to make, and he didn't. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that he can get better at as well.
Is Stedman one of those that you would like to see him make better throw on?
The one in the goal line was awful. The third and 3. And we knew we'd get single coverage, and we told him to look, and Stedman had an unbelievable release, and the throw was terrible. It's a part of Geno's game that has
I thought we started making strides in the third quarter after that first drive. But we just made some adjustments.
And the defense,
both offensively and defensively. And then we went out and just executed. We executed better.
The defense played great. The first half, excellent. Second half, played okay. Getting 3 turnovers, of which one of them went for 7 points was probably the difference. We turned it over 3 times, which is terrible. All three could have been prevented easily, very easily. We had a drop ball that tipped up, for a touchdown. Geno had to get rid of that first one, that they intercepted, or the one that he got sacked and fumbled. If he would have went to the left instead of the right, like he was told, he could have got the ball out of his hands. And then Bowie just needs to have 2 hands on the ball when he's getting closed in.
We had another situation, third down situation where we get a penalty.
Anything else for Coach?
All right, guys, appreciate it.